When an empire falls, it's not sudden, it's a long, stretched out process, a death by 1,000 cuts. With Marvel, we will see if an overlooked element foreshadowed the coming collapse: the sound. When was the last time you put on a soundtrack from a Marvel movie in the background, just like you would do with, I don't know, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Interstellar? I'll answer for you: never. Apart from the main Avengers theme, which is simple and easy to hum, there are tens of Marvel movies and shows, and yet the general consensus is that they are not memorable enough. And even though composers like Alan Silvestri or Brian Tyler try to develop some kind of continuity, it's not working. It could be that Marvel doesn't employ a single composer who drives a continuous overarching vision, but rather different people for each movie and shows. Imagine a Marvel music library, like Star Wars, that offers continuity mixed up with fresh themes. Also, it is considered that the reason for the similar sound is that MCU directors often cut their movies to their so-called temp tracks, pre-existed music. This is a normal thing in Hollywood, one that composers hate. It stifles originality as the directors become attached to the music they select. But the issue is that in the MCU, they use music from other MCU movies as temp scores.
You didn't know how I knew?
Okay, fine, it's you, stop! So good to see you.
Peter, you're gonna have to tell me what the hell's going on here.
Then the composer is tasked with replicating that, with the end result being generic music that we cannot distinguish. Another complaint is on-the-nose scoring.
You're safe.
I'm safe.
It's over.
Music that feels safe and predictable, with one critic saying that the musical cues are simultaneously on the nose and forgettable.
I will be reinstituting Prima Nocta. Be right back.
Meaning that even dramatic moments lack the punch, like the Iron Man fight scenes from the Avengers. The music is there, but it doesn't do anything emotionally. Like, was the cue from Captain America, Black Widow, Thor? It all sounds too similar. As others pointed out, music is reduced to sit in a background rather than play an important storytelling role. Compare the scenes from The Batman to scenes from Doctor Strange. By the same composer, Michael Giacchino. And yes, you can hear sprinkles of his style in the MCU movie, but also that he didn't have as much freedom as in The Batman, and it shows. Another movie that people often cite as a wasted potential is Captain Marvel, where the 90s setting could have been an amazing background for some cool musical choices. And yet, apart from a standard Marvel music, they used a selection of such obvious songs that felt cringeworthy rather than empowering. Of course, Nirvana for the hint of 90s nostalgia. Or a scene that feels like an advert. But remember the intro to the first Guardians of the Galaxy. so it can't be done. And you know, I worked on this movie when doing dubbings, and must have watched it like 30 times, and I loved every minute of it. And the song choices.
If you're not into yoga, if you have half a brain.
And it seems that Guardians and James Gunn were outliers among the MCU music machine. Apparently, when Lucrecia Martel turned down directing Black Widow, she said that after she saw a few Marvel movies, she wasn't impressed with how they sounded. Quote, "It's the selection of the sounds that they are connecting to the effects, which is very ugly. And the way the music is used is actually horrible. On one hand, we have a sound design that is fairly standard. Compare it to the latest Dune. We hear the extreme dynamic range, use of distortion and noise, but also silence. And the contrast in approach is staggering. But even The Force Awakens, which was criticized by many, had more iconic sound elements than Marvel. Some journalists complain that one of the reasons is Marvel's delivery mix, which takes the life out of a sound design by compressing it too much and cutting all the bass out of it, with people complaining that the Thor Ragnarok Blu-ray was lacking in a dynamic range. Making it louder on your home system doesn't help, but rather hurts the sounds even more. Explosions, heavy weapons and throws are lacking the impact.
Just slipped out.
With commenters saying that their home mixes sound nothing like the real thing. That is, you know, the actual cinema mix.
I gotta have some of that.
No. See, this was aged for 1,000 years.
When we complain about the disappointing sound design and mixing, we often refer to their home deliverables. And Marvel, for a long time, has been criticized for its limited bass range, muffled midsection and lack of surround effects, which could be the overcompression when the Atmos cinema mix is folded down to other mixes, 5.1, stereo and airline. And even the latest Daredevil Born Again got some. People say that there is a lack of ambient sound with dead and empty atmospheres.
Vanessa, why don't you start us off?
My husband and I have been through a lot these last couple of years.
But the dialogues are mixed way too loudly, and it doesn't seem to be because of Matt's heightened senses.
Sorry. I apologize.
What are you sorry for?
But then, in other scenes, music fights for a space in the mix with the dialogue.
My father, he didn't respect many men. Well, not naturally.
Same for the sound design.
That is a good question.
Now, some fans argued that this is a stylistic choice, you know, the silence, the perception of sound because of Matt Murdock. But others say it's a cope, and because it's all over the mix, it's more of a technical issue. There's also Iron Fist getting slammed for weak and low-impact martial arts fight sounds. People noticed that the She-Hulk dialogue often doesn't match the lips, meaning that it was added later and not synced that well.
That name better not stick. It's so dumb. I can't even exist without being a derivative of the Hulk.
That's a pretty dumb name, too.
With some faces looking under-animated, giving out video game cutscene vibes.
So excited to be here. I can't wait to take on whatever case you want to assign to
Your
me.
first case is the parole of Emil Blonsky.
Once you hear the formula, you start hearing it everywhere. And of course, as with many modern mixes, Marvel fans complained about volume consistency, with the classic comments about quiet dialogue, a weak and lifeless mix that focuses on just the left and right speakers, not making use of the home cinema mixes. Totally squashed compared to the cinema or IMAX mixes.
What time is it, Ben? No. What time is it, Ben? No, Johnny. Say it! I don't wanna!
So what to do? Just be okay with the fact that Marvel is Marvel. They stick to the formula, even though it feels a little bit dated now. For me, it feels like a huge missed opportunity. If they had someone from the start with the vision for overall sound, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Beasts.
Giant goats!
Oh, look at those! They are wonderful. Oh, look at that! Those things are beautiful.
Sound and music are often overlooked, not nearly talked about like special effects, writing, or acting. But when done right, they can elevate all these elements and make the experience so much more impactful and often unforgettable. Just imagine if Marvel were on par with Star Wars, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, or even Fast and Furious, known for its over-the-top sound design and pop music. Which unfortunately is not the Marvel way. Thanks for watching.
I'm sorry.